Follow me. It seems my ex-wife was kind enough to donate her car to furthering your education, so place the C4 on the indicated spot.
Dude, your ex-wife has terrible taste in cars, which makes sense, given she was married to you. Let's... that's not quite what I mean, though, Jay Palmer. Because... I talk all the time about genres and subgenres, right? FPS is a very wide category, just like RPG is, right? There's tons of FPSs. Portal, and Doom, and... trying to think of something else that's pretty wild. That doesn't count. I mean, you could count that, but let's not count that. Head-On. We'll go with Head-On, which is an RPG functionally. And this are all FPSs, right? Big, big, broad category. Now, Half-Life 2, yeah, Half-Life 2 is still an FPS. It's... Doom even has its own RPG. But that's not the point. The point I'm trying to get at is subgenres. I'm a big fan of categorizing based on genres and subgenres. So, getting down into it, what I usually use my terminology for something like Doom is that's a run and gun. I wish I'd come up with that term. I didn't. So, run and gun. Okay, cool. Is this a run and gun? No. So for someone predominantly familiar with the run and gun format, this was a bit of a culture shock because this focuses a lot more on precision, a lot more on ammo conservation, and a lot more on cover-based and repositioning than it does on running and gunning, hence the terminology. I believe, yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I've heard duck and cover before. I've also heard several people refer to this as just cover-based shooter, as the general genre type. I'm only mentioning that because at the time this came out, not the exact one we're playing, the original Call of Duty 4, cover shooters weren't... They were around. That's how that works, right? You know, FPSs existed before Doom, but Doom is what made FPSs blow up. So, obviously, cover shooters existed before Call of Duty 4, but Call of Duty 4 made cover shooters explode. And I just wanted to mention that because I am one of many people who got really sick of cover shooters because most of them didn't do anything. They didn't make anything interesting. They didn't have good gun design or good level design or good anything. It was just, ugh. So I look forward to going back through this one and seeing exactly how long it does. Oh, we'll beat this game today, Evo. It has been difficult for me to read chat and actually stream the game once in my entire life, and that was actually during Halo. Fun fact, the second most concurrent users I've ever had on my stream was for Halo 1. Come on.
Go, go,
There
go.
we go.
Hit the targets.
There we go.
Go.
That's what I was trying to do last time.
Hit the targets. Flashbang through the door. Position 4. Hit the targets. Position 5. Go. Hit the targets. 6. Go. Flashbang through the door. Hit the targets. Final position. Go. Sprint to the finish. That's a new squadron record, Soap. Not bad at all. Climb up the ladder if you want another go. Otherwise, come over to the monitors for a debrief.
Knife run? Yeah, sure. We'll do a knife run right now. I know. Which FPS had the most satisfying melee? Doom 4.
Replace any flashbangs you used.
Okay, we're going to do a real try at
Go,
this.
go, go! Hit the targets! Hit the other targets. Position 2, go! Hit the targets! Flashbang through the door! Hit the targets! Position 4! Position 5, go! Hit the targets!
That is a little disorienting, gotta be real.
Through the door! Hit the targets!
Little camera jolt it does when you melee is not fun. Wow.
To the finish. That was better. Not great, but better.
Jesus.
Climb up the ladder if you want another
Oh.
go.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Otherwise,
The mission has 3 distinct structures to it. The ship mission. Structure number 1 you're shooting a bunch of essentially unarmed civilians. At least that's what it looks like. They are drinking or sleeping or manning the thing. They most of the time don't even see you before you've already shot them, right? So in all cases, you're, I don't want to say dominating the situation, but you get the idea, right? Like, you're just sweeping through, essentially murdering people. Establishes the tone very quickly and effectively. Second structure of the mission, after a little bit of navigating. Do I think they were innocent? No. Because, second structure of the mission, whole bunch of the crew start waking up, realize they're under attack, pull out some automatics. Now, you'll notice they suck at what they're doing. But there's a very small amount of escalation as we move through the ship. First, we're fighting a bunch of people out in the cargo area. They have the high ground, but you'll notice, and I tried to show this off, the AI doesn't really try to take cover, and they never try to deal with anything. And even if you don't kill them, your air support deals with them shortly thereafter. Still completely overwhelmed. Then you move into the ship, start going down into the interior cargo hold. This is when we have our first closest thing to an actual combat encounter. So, yeah, crew expendable, as Dakota is mentioning right now. So, then we have cargo section. The enemies will actually start using cover. They'll try to retreat. They'll try to reposition. They're still not very difficult, and the advantage is still on us, especially since most of the AI on our side is cranked to max. So, with very few exceptions, you can actually hold back and do essentially nothing, and your team will be able to sweep that. Now, I think that's a good thing, especially in this case, because it continues the overall theme, even though the escalation is happening. Then we find the nukes and the manifesto. Okay, now what? Well, then they take away the guns completely, and they give us an escape sequence. We're no longer fighting the people because they were never a threat to begin with. We are now fighting the environment. Now, I'm going to pause for 1 second. I do love that section. I do. I love it to absolute death. There's audio calls for where to go, and as long as you're not trying to get ahead of people, you know, that's fine. Cool. That's what I think too, honestly, Hazardous. Whoever the real crew of this Estonian ship was, they're probably long dead. Because whoever the current crew of this ship is, they were able to scramble jets inside of a few minutes to deal with this situation. Think about that for a second. Anyways, so, you know, we're rushing out, fighting the environment. Whoosh, we make it. Cool. I should probably mention as an aside that one of the biggest flaws of the Call of Duty series after these two games is falling in love with the two bullet points of of Modern Warfare 1 and Modern Warfare 2. I've talked endlessly about bullet point syndrome, and one of the first places I ever employed it was right here. Because what are the two things that everyone took away from this? Shocking, and the big dramatic moment, right? I actually complained about this during the World War II one that we actually reviewed quite a while ago. Like, holy crap. Because there were set pieces. There were set pieces that were supposed to be excited and interesting and energetic and cool and fun, and they super weren't, because you were so on rails for so many of them, and they just weren't well designed. Let me just, rather than try to give any vague, broad statements, they never managed to recapture the actual moment and impetus of actually having an intense moment. So it would flop. But I can see why everyone wanted to recapture that magic, because that's what everybody wants to do, right? They want to recapture the moment of, oh my God. And the reason I'm talking about that right now is because the sequence we just ran through, I think, is the biggest reason why they keep trying to recapture that big, dramatic tension moment. We'll talk later about the shocking moment.
The rockets have killed hundreds of civilians in the valley below.
Not so fast. Remember Beirut? You're with us.
I guess I owe you one.
Bloody right you do.
Again, so much is implied in that exchange right there.
Ваня, приближайся. Приготовься к атаке. Жди моего.
I'll try to keep an eye out, Hazardous. Feel free to check me on that.
This way. There's a good spot on your side where I can cover my men.
Again, something... I'm sorry, I don't mean to speechify. but of something that an inordinate quantity of fictional writers do not understand, whether it's show, books, movies, or games, is that you don't need to plaster exposition into someone's face for them to understand what's going on. We don't need to know what happened at Baru, because based on tone and interaction, we know exactly what happened at Baru, right? Right? We have all the information we need from that situation. Hang on. You're with us. Remember Baru? Well, I guess I do owe you one. Just a little hesitant to even bring that up. And Gaz is the one who then says, damn right you do. Like, just, like with a little bit of a... And so, okay, whatever happened there was pretty bad. Whatever happened there, we dug them out of something, and now they legitimately owe us. Cool. I'm with it. It also implies that Makarov was just going to give us info and then kind of move on to his objective instead of help us with our objective, which is getting Nikolai out.
Hope over here.
Modern Warfare 3 sucks. Alright, so. Modern Warfare 3... Okay. Hang on. So, let's talk about this briefly. Some people have been asking why it is... Oh, God, yeah, no kidding. Oh, my God. We're pretty close to that mission, too. Modern Warfare 3 sucks. Let's just start with that. The reason we're not playing it isn't because it sucks, though. Because, as we've talked about many times, there's a value in reviewing bad games. The reason we're not playing Modern Warfare 3 is because it wasn't paid for. It, like, nobody funded it. Nobody said, hey, please, I'm donating to Modern Warfare 3. I'm not even sure if Modern Warfare 3 is on the list right now. That's how little interest there is in it. And yeah, we covered Modern Warfare 3 rather thoroughly in the lore run, so I don't see a huge value of reviewing it. Having said all of that, Modern Warfare 3 is what I was talking about earlier with bullet pointing. Which makes sense. The Call of Duty series itself starts bullet pointing itself, which is how that usually works. Modern Warfare 3 is exactly everything that Huthor is talking about is wrong with this series, or this game in particular. It is extraordinarily pro-war, completely misses out on any of the nuance or any of the horror of war or anything other than being a very surface level. All right, we're gonna kick the Russians, very vague there. Not the ultranationalists. No, that there's no factions in Russia anymore in Modern Warfare 3. I'm not joking. There's just Russia. Okay, so Russia has invaded the US and also Europe at the same time. By the way, Europe. But on top of that, while we're on the subject, while we're talking about this, in addition to that nonsense, the Americans then kick the Russians out of America, just like, yep, we're good. Because of course they do, because we're big. And yeah, they just kept wanting to go big. And there's so many other problems. There's so many problems in that game. But we're focusing just right now on the bullet pointing, the pro-war sentiments. So, big exciting moments. In Modern Warfare 3, with very few exceptions, every level is a big exciting moment. Not a specific section of a level, the entire level. The pacing is awful. Excuse me, in Modern Warfare 3. It's terrible. So, that's bullet point number 1. Bullet point number 2, shocking. There's a terrible scene that I swear was put together by the freaking interns. I'm just going to tell you, I'm just going to spoil it for you, because it doesn't spoil anything. The spoiler is, you play as a dude with a camcorder recording his daughter and wife, and in the background you see a bomb driven up by a van and then it explodes. That's it. That's the shocking moment. There's nothing there. It is a freaking textbook example of how not to do an impacting scene. It is the exact opposite of an impacting scene. It's laughable and not in the good. Yeah, it's trailer bait. It's awful. So that's bullet point number 2. And then, of course, we've got bullet point number 3, anti-war. Now, Huthor and I disagree on this. That's cool. Disagreements are cool. But Modern Warfare 3 is very pro-war. Modern Warfare 3 is, oh no, The Russians have invaded. So what's our solution to this? Let's go kill some Russians. Yeah, kill. Yeah, we did it. We beat the Russians. We won. And then the war's over. And everyone's fine. Not exaggerating. Also, this is a small spoiler. In Modern Warfare 1 and 2, it's made clear multiple times in the narrative that just killing the bad guy, the leader of a particular villainous force, killing Palpatine, doesn't fix things. In Modern Warfare 3, killing Palpatine, Space Wizard Palpatine, I use that on purpose, fixes things. We kill him, and we win. Oh, Jesus. How is that guy not being run over? Never mind. I withdraw the question.
Bravo 6, possible ambush area up front.
That's a lot of guys. Listen, my tank runs me over all the time, especially when Huthor's driving it. He's just like, where's that lore? And that was me right there. One more time. We just wanted to watch that again. No, that looks a lot like a brick with a brick. I think it's an apt comparison. But I don't remember that in Modern Warfare 3. Yeah! You danger closed yourself there, buddy. So what do we just do? Whenever units is down, we break apart from the main mission. Go rescue our people. We don't leave people behind.
At all Assad's palace to the west. Nest teams are on the way. Until the device is verified safe, all forces are to fall back to the east. Over.
We're hit! I've lost the tail rotor!
No soldier left behind.
This is deadly going in hard! We're going down.
So, obviously, having just successfully rescued someone, of course we're going to go rescue her, right?
Deadly, this is Outlaw 2-5. Come in, over. Command, I'm visual on the crash site. I see small arms fire coming from the cockpit. Request permission to initiate search and rescue, over. Copy 2-5, be advised. You will not be at a safe distance in the event that nuke goes off. Do you understand? Roger that. We know what we're gonna do. All right, 2-5, it's your call. Retrieve that pilot if you can. Out. Deadly, do you copy? What's your status? Over.
I'm here! Heating is KIA! Hostiles moving in fast! There could use some help down here!
Hold on, we're coming to you. Be advised, 2-5. Hostiles advancing parallel southwest of your position towards the crash site. We got 90 seconds, Jackson. Get the pilot. No one gets left behind. Jackson, pull her out of there and get back to the LZ. Do it! Get to the C-Night. We'll hold down these corners. Go! Lieutenant Vasquez, this is Outlaw 2-5. Now would be a good time to get the hell out of here, over. Roger that. We're on our way. Outlaw, this is Command. We have a probable nuclear threat in the capital. Proceed to the minimum safe distance until the all-clear is given by the Nest team. Go, go! Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're in for some chop. Hang on. Check in the next hour. All U.S. forces be advised. We have a confirmed nuclear threat in the city. Nest teams are on site and attempting to disarm. I repeat, we have a confirmed Everyone, hang on! Something has happened.
What appears to be an explosion. Everything from the results remain sketchy and unconfirmed.
prevent a nuclear explosion in his own country.
Something larger, but no word yet on whether or Assad was among the victims. May have been a suicide mission.
I did not expect that to hit me as hard as it just did. What I like most about this is based on just how video games are and how fiction is and how so much of the game is rather, pro-military hoorah, as we've been talking about. And then allowing us to play as a survivor, the expectation is that we will now be in this irradiated hell fighting our way out. Like, that's going to be the mission structure. But, well, that is not what is going to happen. Because we are dead. As it should be. We are dead. We died the moment that went off. Also, one quick additional aside. You know the 50,000th reason why I dislike Modern Warfare 3? Modern Warfare 3 had to go bigger than the previous two games. Now, I know what you're saying. Haven't we already talked about that? I'm not just talking to mission design or music approach or pacing or scale, but also characters. Modern Warfare 3 insisted that Makarov was behind everything. That's technically a spoiler. I do not care. I'm sorry. I don't give a crap. In Modern Warfare 3, it's made very clear Makarov was behind everything. He planned out everything and was manipulating Zakhaev and Shepard and basically every other player on the board. It's the reason. Well, one of the two big reasons why we kept calling him Space Wizard Makarov was because the only logical explanation was that he just somehow was a space wizard and he was just casting his way through things because nothing else made sense. Yeah, I say he was Palpatining, but I feel like that's an insult to Palpatine. Lord knows Palpatine has been portrayed badly over the years. That's something we can talk about. But, like, one of the common things that a lot of writers tend to feel is they want that manipulative villain, right? They want their Blofeld. Call it what it is. They want the person who's behind everything. Problem with that is that's actually really hard to write. Any writer will tell you, writing an intelligent villain who is behind everything or whatever, behind the scenes, that's hard to do. So writers tend to not bother with the effort. They just say, yeah, they're behind everything. Everything, yeah. And it's just like, what? It's one of the reasons, I know some people dislike CinemaSins, but it's one of the reasons, one of the things that CinemaSins will pull out for particularly bad movies is, let's talk about such and such's plan. Because a lot of the evil plans for the people who are behind everything are nonsense. And they just want that moment. They want that, aha, yes, despite everything that happened, I was behind everything all along. And then you sit back and think, but hold up, wait, what? You planned for that subway train to go through that subway. You planned for that helicopter to crash in that exact spot. And yet I could go point to so many. So that's what they did with Makarov. They were like, and it was me all along. I was super manipulating everyone. And that's why I was also capable of conquering Europe immediately after after getting kicked out of the United States in 5 days. I looked it up, by the way. Anyways, moving on. All right. Before the mission starts, spot him. I know it's blurred out right now. But when I hit unpause, I want you to spot him. Okay?
Too much radiation. We'll have to go around.
Right there.
Follow me and keep low.
Can I just say, if you ever want something, it's God, I love this game so much. What I love about that shot right there is the brilliance of it. If you're looking for him, and you know he's there, you could probably see him. But throw that out the window for just a second. You're playing this game for the first time. You have that shot. And it takes... The game pauses and doesn't move forward, no objective, no nothing, for several seconds to give you a chance to have that moment of, all right, where am I? What am I doing? Then he reveals himself. And let's be clear, there's a very good chance you didn't see Macmillan until he stood, especially the first time playing this game. And I love that, because what that's doing isn't just cool, it's the whole mission. That is the whole mission structure in one shot.
Don't move.
Macmillan's accent is the best accent in the known history of the existence of all accents that have ever been spoken, such that even if you were never not otherwise predisposed to being aware of such a thing, you might be confused and think that God himself has gazed down upon you and said, lo, this is the greatest accent ever.
Keep an eye on that flag. Watch for any change in one speed and direction. Damn, it went wide. Probably should have waited for the wind to break out.
I didn't attack the dog. The dog ate me. Okay, whatever. She's yelling at me for attacking the dog, and you saw I didn't shoot the dog. The dog ate my face. Oh, jeez. And I'm dead. I'm dead to the dog. This freaking dog. Why is this dog? Okay, you know what? You know what? Here. New plan. New plan. Here. Go here. Stay here. Cover me. Dog. You're not a dog. Where's the dog? Where's the dog? Where are you? I know you. Oh, God. Oh, God. There you are. There you are. Okay. Dog dead. Come here. Let's get out of here.
Make sure these rooms are clear first.
Damn it, Hazardous. No. Papa dog and Mama dog need to not dog. Ah, dog! Why is there another dog? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? God, I can't even see him. I can't even see him. Okay, okay, okay. Dog dead. Again. Oh my god, I am getting swarmed. Because I suck. There's way too many of the claymores on this side, let me tell you what. Listen, it's not my fault their parents are failures, Don Crow, okay? My niece has been playing Zelda 1 since she was like 4. Not a joke. She's been playing better games than Zelda 1, don't worry, just saying. She used to play WoW with me, too. In fact, she's actually played Just Cause 3 with me. I think I streamed that.
Go on!
It was so cute. So, for those of you who never played Just Cause 3, what you can do is you can shoot that person, and then you can shoot that person, and After shooting those people, you can dangle from the bottom of a helicopter. And then if you hit a button... I didn't even see who was shooting me. If you hit a button while you're dangling, you take over the helicopter from whoever's actually piloting it, right? Anyway, so Just Cause 3, dangle, yada yada. It's the same thing it's been since they introduced the damn graphics. That's something new. The reason I'm bringing all that up is because what she would do, she's sitting on my lap, you know, playing, and she would be very, very polite, and she'd say, "Excuse me, can we borrow your helicopter, sir?" And then I'd hit the button where we'd take over the helicopter, and she'd say, "Thank you."
We are heavily outnumbered. Where are you? Copy that, Alpha. We'll be there ASAP. Hold tight. Got him.
It was extremely adorable. I mean, so for those of you, let's talk about this briefly. For those of you who've never actually heard me talk about it, Viscerality is actually 3 separate things simultaneously. So, obviously what I was just kind of mentioning in context, sound design. Whatever your gun, or your sword, or your spell, or whatever it is, it needs to have good sound design. It needs to sound like it's got some oomph to it. Which brings us to point 2. It needs to look like it's got some oomph. It needs to... I say oomph. That's the wrong word. Because it's not just about loud and it's not just about impressive. It needs to be fun. It's part of the fun. Part of the enjoyment of these games is to look and feel, for lack of a better way to call it, cool. So Viscerality has to do with how well the game is getting across fun, right? So, audio, visual. Third point is actual how it goes. Like the game, I've actually seen games which fall apart completely on this, where they've got like, bam, and it's incredible, 2 damage, and it's like, oh, that's the third point of Viscerality: sound, visuals, impact. I would say this game succeeds at all 3, hence good Viscerality. But some games succeed at any combination of these 3. Hence the point. And that is Viscerality. Literally. Good intel. Equal invaluable. Thank you. Oh, bull crap. Now, you might have been talking about just fighting games, so I'd have to think about that for a second, because the only fighting games I've really gotten into are Street Fighter, Injustice 2, and the most recent Mortal Kombat game, which also got quite a few Viscerality balls. Hey, remember me? Well, your buddy killed me this time. I need to just... Alright, hold up.
Multiple hostiles on the other side of that iron fence.
We're just hitmanning. Seeding the RNG.
Hostiles on the second floor to your right.
Hi!
You got it.
Oh, Jesus. Dogs! Dogs! What I was trying to say...
Keep it quiet.
I don't know, I think it's telling me something about the dogs. Now, the thing I wanted to talk about, a lot of games will be more overt with the point I'm about to make. A lot of games will be like... I'm going to make up an example. You do the American levels, and they're Mega Man. And then you do the British levels, and they're Zelda. Then you do a Mega Man level, and then you do a Zelda level, and then a Mega Man level, and then a Zelda level. And then you do like this awesome Zelda Mega Man thing. The reason I'm using that as an example is because Mega Man and Zelda have nothing to do with each other, right? They're very, 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 very different types of gameplay. This game, you're always playing the FPS, but the tone, style, pacing, and overall atmosphere and vibe of the missions, there's actually 3 total. There's the American missions at the beginning. We've already talked about that. You are almost always in the superior numbers. You have hardware backup everywhere. You've got helicopters, you've got tanks, you've got tons of gear, tons of ammo, and lots of people backing you up. You are rolling over your enemy. Switch to the SAS side. Much quieter. Much smaller group. Generally speaking, having to use the terrain more to your advantage. Almost always in the minority, and having far less hardware, except for occasional circumstances where you can call in someone else in order to help with a specific thing. Then we have the third type. Both. And that's what I love. They actually managed to somehow merge those two mission types into one, where we are somehow in the minority with the backup and the hardware, with the backup and the units, while stealthing through, while rolling through the enemy. It's weird how well they pull this off. I don't even know where I'm going to give this a plus, but I'm gonna give it a plus somewhere. Because it's harder to do that minute of a change than it sounds. I guess that would technically be mission variety, or I could just put it under level design, because that's what it really goes under. Final score. 92.84. Now, that may sound a little low, in which case you're crazy. That is a very strong, very good game, especially given how many issues this game does have, and how many aging problems exist, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's a damn strong score. In fact, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, that makes it our 4th best FPS we've ever reviewed, with Halo Reach being on the top, and Titanfall 2, then Modern Warfare Remake, and then Modern Warfare 1. That's pretty freaking good. Holy crap. This isn't IGN. A 7 out of 10 isn't bad. But like I said, very strong game. Still enjoyable. Still worthwhile.